So
challenging
people
because
need
you
to
got
know that.
vendors you're thinking about, you got
Hmm.
being honest, you got all this crazy stuff, and but
Okay.
it's not as bad as some people think. It's not as bad as some people think it is to deal with it.
Let's see. Oh, should say I'm on.
Let's see,
Hold on. I'll leave. There we go.
we live. We'll pull up the
We're
chat here.
live. I just had something that wasn't saying we were live. So I was like, hey, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, yes, yes. The guy who loves me the most. And we have Destination Chronicles and Kim is in the house. So, John Cuppi, you want to put some in the chat just so they can have you? Yeah, Furball's in. Furball's
It's
in.
in the chat now.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So we got an interesting show tonight because I've been asking John Cuppi to come on and let me talk to him for 2 years.
I think it's something like that. Yep,
Something it is. It is.
something like that.
And go ahead.
No, I was gonna say. Well, I think you've interviewed almost everybody in the drone community at this point, except me.
Yes, yes, yes. I have a few new people that I need to interview, and I need to reschedule for Canadian drone pilot because we were going to do it on Mother's Day, and his wife said, no, you will be with me. So we had to change that up a little bit, and of course I appreciate that. Hey Rojo, how you doing? Yeah, so I have John Cuppi on. As most of you know, he just got off his world famous tour with Ken Heron. I just I couldn't help it. I'm sorry.
Oh no, that's fine. That's fine.
Oh my God. And so I got to tell you, John, went through your videos, and the first one was Brain Age, the most interesting thing you saw on that. And that was your very first video. And it was 12 years ago that you decided to put that on.
Make a YouTube account and upload something. Yep.
So what made you decide all the way, like how old were you? Can you say 12
I
years
guess
ago?
I would. No, I guess I'm 31 now, so it would have been what 19, 18 or something like that.
Yeah,
12 years ago.
yeah.
So yeah, I have been on YouTube for a long time. I guess if that's where I started. It was my first video. Not a very good one, but it is what it is.
Okay, I liked it. I thought, you know what? It 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 could have been so much worse. I've
Oh,
seen some.
it could have been way
Because the
worse.
first ones you're just trying to get an idea, but it didn't stop there. You started then really starting to put out some content. I mean, who could forget the having dinner or lunch with mom and dad, where you were telling
It
us
is
how
good. Yes, the
delicious their
famous
dinner
video.
was?
That's the
Yes,
most famous one on the channel.
yes. See, I like that one. Being a mom. Hey, Enterprise. Hey, guys, I'll be coming to say hi to you. I have Rojo and Kim in the chat, and they're going to be modding really good for me, flown over from
Get my light on.
those guys, hey, novice. And I got to tell you, John, you were a very young looking young man when you were doing that. And then I kept going in and I saw, I think one of your first videos for drones was when you got a frame. Was that it or
Yes,
was it? Yeah, and you did some flying.
there was some flying with the SEMA, I
Yeah,
think, in a blizzard back in 2015.
January 2015.
Yes, and funny thing is, it was not long after that that I lost that SEMA. I lost that drone that very January.
Did you?
Yep, I
I
got that SEMA in 2014, the fall of 2014. Um, because my community college at the time was into drones, and I'm like, oh wow, I really want to try to get into this stuff. So I went on Amazon and I found the SEMA, and well, the rest is history. But yeah,
so,
it was right
so
around the end of that January that I
yeah.
lost that drone. So
Well, that was one of the biggest blizzards we had in a long time out east. Was right
right,
in that time, right? But
right.
I want to ask you a question, and you can say no. Can I share your first video?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so guys, I just want you to know when you're sitting there wondering, should I post this? Shouldn't I post this? I wonder. I'm going to say, yeah, you should. So hold on, because I'm going to show you. I mean, there we go.
That was something else.
Hold on. Yeah, there's no music.
No, there's no music.
There's
That was
no
film.
music.
That was filmed, I think, in 360p on an Olympus digital camera.
Yeah, that was
On
quite.
Christmas Eve. I decided to do this on Christmas Eve.
Did you?
Yeah, look at the date.
Okay. I just thought, I just
Yeah, that's it's always fun to go back and look at what was our original video on YouTube.
And like, yeah, because I'm gonna say that when I went back and I saw that, and you're about 19, I just thought, yes, this makes total sense back there and where the technology was, right? And just going onto YouTube at all was quite the thing.
Yeah, it was it was an interesting time for YouTube. I think it had just been bought by Google that summer
Yep.
of July, and I think it was also when I think that was the chocolate rain time and all that other stuff. Tay Zonde, all those names that you don't even hear anymore now on YouTube. So thinking about it now, thinking about it, YouTube is a very, very different place now, and the internet as a whole compared to when I uploaded that video. So it's really interesting to think about. Mr. Crowley says I'm talented. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Crowley.
Yeah, everyone's going, they cringe when they look at their first video.
Of course.
I saw it and I just thought, yay. Because I'm going to ask if I can play it. And, I don't usually play the videos, but I thought that was so you. I can just imagine you as a young man now. You know what I mean? You just decided it's there. I have nothing to show, but I'm going to show it anyway.
I was playing my Nintendo DS and I'm like, this is ridiculous. I'm going to put this on YouTube because this is ridiculous. Funny thing is, I don't really do that anymore. When I think about it, don't really do that anymore.
No, because as I'm looking through all your videos, and I looked through plenty, and I saw your SEMA, and it brought back memories because in 2015 we had an extremely big snowstorm, and then the following year we did too, and so we had, I think, a couple years.
We had another big snowstorm in 2016 with Jonas as well, and I flew that too. I flew that as well.
Yeah. I was back there and we couldn't get out of my sister's house for days. We were in total lockdown. So it was really crazy then. But I was excuse me. Hold on. My coffee's on its way, I think. I'm hoping. Okay. So then you did some stuff on batteries. And I think, let me see. And then you were in Panama City Beach. That's in Florida?
Yes. That is my favorite beach in Florida.
Oh, that was really nice. And then, guys, the sweetest one. Can I share that one I thought was so cute?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, hold on, guys. I'm just doing it. This is your life, John, so hold on. Because this is one that I actually just thought was quite...
Let me see. Which one is it?
Excuse me.
Is it the skunk one?
Yes.
Oh, God.
There he is. There's the skunk.
That poor skunk. Oh.
Look at him.
Wait.
Someone's calling him a kitty.
Wait, I don't see it.
Oh, you don't? Did I not share?
No, I don't think it got shared. No.
Oh, I'm
there
sorry.
He is. The poor little guy.
Yeah, just thank goodness Kim isn't there.
What's sad is I'm pretty sure he passed away.
Oh, did
That
he?
skunk
Look
did
at
not.
him.
He did not look like he was in good health.
No,
It's a skunk out during the day, but
he's just trying to find some food.
hey, Paul.
So I'm gonna stop share.
Yeah, that was fun. That was fun. The days
So
of just
this
ripping out
was,
your phone and filming anything.
hey Paul. So this really was the beginnings of just trying to figure out who you were going to be or what you were going to do on YouTube.
Right, yeah. That was long before any drone stuff. I pretty much just used my YouTube account as a place to put any video that I was working on up. I had no plan for the channel, no nothing. I was just winging it. If I had a video, I uploaded it.
And it
That's what
didn't
it was
look
for
like,
years.
yeah, no editing, skunk from
Right.
beginning to end,
Right.
Panama Beach beginning to end. And I think back when you started, that's how a lot of us started. We didn't know that drones were going to be a thing. Do you think that's fair to say?
Yeah, I didn't know that basically 5 years ago I was going to discover drones and that was going to be my hobby and it was going to stick and it was going to transform my channel from a place where I dumped random videos onto it to now it is a sort of like its own little brand. And I hope I'm not giving too much credit to myself by saying that, but I mean it is my name and the drone reviews. There's an association there. So yeah, now I take it a little more seriously. I won't just dump some random stuff on there because I know the people that are subscribed are expecting to see some kind of drone, some kind of tech stuff. It is it. I guess it grew up from being a random place where I just put stuff to now there's an expectation when I upload there not to put some random crap on there.
Right. And
So it's different now.
I was watching in your comments also. You started kind of in the beginning. You were posting one on a frame on a build, and then you went back and you said, "Hey, I gotta say, I think I gave some wrong advice.
Mm.
So here's the right advice. Here's the right thing to say about this."
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how long it took you to realize that maybe something you said you didn't exactly agree with. Hey, Andrew, I've been trying to drop a super tap for the last 2 minutes, but it isn't letting me. Sorry. It's okay. It's okay, Andrew. Your money's no good here. No, I meant that the right way. But I thought about it, John, and I thought, hey, Mr. Dutchy Dutch, when I was looking at it, I just thought that is so you, even now doing your reviews. If they send it to you, you're going to be like, oh, I don't think this is so great. And I know a lot of people say that, but not a lot of people do that in their reviews. So, oh, no, Madam Broken. Right. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. And so I'm going to say, John, when you started going through Yusima, and then what was the next one? You did one with a really cool name.
So after I lost the SEMA, after the SEMA was lost,
Yeah.
I started looking toward what was the next level because I knew I liked this stuff, but I knew that if I got another SEMA, it was just gonna be the same thing. So that's when I found my options were either DJI Phantom or a drone called the 350QX. And you can tell based just looking at the channel, the drone I ended up with was the 350QX.
Yeah.
I was very anti DJI at the time. In fact, I still have some of those anti DJI sentiments
So
I had
why were
back
you?
then.
Why were you? Because that was 4 years ago. Why were you anti DJI?
Why was I anti DJI? I strongly believe that when I buy a piece of hardware, whether it's a phone, a computer, or anything like that, that it is not restricted, that I can do what I want with it, that I own it, not the company that makes it. And at the time, DJI was looking at implementing this geo stuff, and this is a newer time for the hobby, and they had already started some basic restrictions. Now, the other thing was the customer service. customer service was terrible. Blade and Horizon Hobby, which is the company who made the 350, that was an American company. You could call them up on the phone and get support very easily. I did on more than one occasion. So even though the Blade might have been a lesser product, I was willing to go with that rather than go with DJI. And it really and going with the Blade really set the table for me per se, because if you went through my videos, you see that Blade didn't stay in its plastic frame for very long. It ended up in a carbon fiber frame. So I took that thing and I rebuilt it after I crashed it like 2 times.
So what made you decide to rebuild it at that time?
I guess I just didn't want to give up because wow, I'll tell you what, when you watch your drone fall from the sky because of a battery malfunction and it snaps your gimbal apart and all this other stuff, the body breaks and it's just almost the whole thing goes to crap. And I had just spent like $400 or $500 on the thing. It's like, maybe this isn't the hobby for me. Maybe this isn't the hobby for me. I had some good encouragement from some people in forums who told me, just try to stay with it. They're like, get this kit. This should work really great. It'll be way more durable. And I did. I gave it another chance, and I flew the crap out of that thing all summer long. I loved it. I loved that 350. And it taught me a lot about building, and I knew I could do this, and I realized I love this. I love this part of the hobby.
Do you think that that's kind of a point in everyone's life where anytime they start drones, there's a point where they say, "Why am I here?"
Yeah, of course. Absolutely.
Because I actually think that that's something that I go through a lot. I think why am I doing this? Not so much now, but there was a part to where I did look at the comment blending in here.
Well, look, this is not. I mean, look, relatively speaking, I think that compared to some other hobbies, this is a cheap hobby, but it's also an expensive hobby. It's relatively expensive. You know,
Right.
and when you're putting all this money in for the radios, the goggles, this, that, and the other thing, I have watched some people put a lot of money into it and struggle and feel like they want to just give up. They've done their first drone build. Maybe they bought a drone and it just didn't work out, especially in the FPV area, because there are people who build the stuff and it's just nightmare after nightmare after nightmare. And it hurts because you spend so much time and effort to get all this figured out and you still feel like you have a piece of crap. But this is a hobby that you just have to keep on, and you're gonna get it. You're gonna make it work eventually.
So a lot of people I've heard lately have been a little bit worried about not being able to make money on YouTube or through YouTube. And I don't know how you feel about it, but you are a review king. I mean, I've watched your reviews, and your last review was really straightforward. But you have quite a few reviews, and some of them are a little more like toy grade. And so, do you still have all these drones? Where did these all go?
So I have some of them. A lot of them I gave away. A lot of them a lot of them were given away to my father-in-law, my brother-in-law. If you notice, I would review a lot of this stuff on what looks to be like a big property, and it would typically, a lot of these reviews came out typically during the summer. And one day they saw me out there with my FPV goggles and my screen and all this stuff. And they're, what the heck are you doing? And I'm like, I'm glad you asked me what I'm doing. Let me show you. And from there, the process was I got the drone, did the review, and I wasn't really going to fly that toy thing very much. So I said, here, you guys enjoy it. So That's really what happened to a lot of those drones. I ended up giving them to them, and then they gave them to some people that they knew. So a lot of this stuff has been given away. I try to give away a lot of the things that I get, because otherwise it just sits there. And sadly, I haven't given away enough. Probably, I have still have piles of drones that are just sitting around.
Yeah, I think because I remember, and a lot of the guys that I really like watching are continually, right, giving they're continually giving drones away to people and to kids, and they teach kids. Like, I know that like Lewis P is like that. I know a lot of guys, and I just admire him so much. And then when you came out and you said that's what you did, I thought, ah,
I did
that's
that
what I
recently
did.
with I did that recently with that glove controlled drone, the SP300 and the SP500. That went to two kids for Christmas.
So who is it? Who is it? Crypto wants to know if you like testing products.
Yes, I really enjoy testing products. It is it really gets me fired up because I love getting something new and taking a look at it and analyzing it and figuring out how it all works. I really enjoy that whole process of doing that.
I'm sorry, this coffee, and I love it. Yeah, because I was going to say that I thought that
Thank you, Capture Life Connection. Appreciate that.
that's a good channel, right? Capture Life Connection. So yeah, so I was thinking to myself that as I was watching your videos, you know, you were pretty definite in the stuff you had to say about the drones, whether you like them or you didn't like them. So tell me what gave you that confidence, because we have a lot of people who are trying to do this kind of thing because somehow you got actually started. People ask you to review things now. Oh, you did that. Every time I see that little bean thing, I think, yeah, that's what I look like. It's sad, but it is true. Thank you, Andrew, so much. But
So the best thing I could say when it comes to having confidence on YouTube is that it's just something that comes with time. I feel like the more you do it, the more comfortable you're going to be on camera. I'm sure that even you can relate to this. Like, think about back when you first did your first live stream, right? Yeah, I'm sure you were a little nervous. It was a little awkward.
oh yeah,
But after a while, it's like anything else. You just get used to being on here. And the more you do the reviews, the more you eventually develop an idea of how it's going to go. Like when I review a drone, depending on the type of drone it is, I already have an idea of how the video is going to be structured in my head before I do it. I don't know necessarily what's going to happen for sure, but I already have an idea of how this is going to play out. And that also helps when it comes to having confidence. You got a plan, you know what you're going to do, you go for it, and you try to do it as naturally as possible. Like, I don't try to plan too much for certain drones. For more complicated ones, I will actually write up a script.
you will.
Because yes, I will. And some people are surprised by that because they've watched my videos and it doesn't sound like I'm reading from a script. But I write the script in the language that I would be speaking, if that makes any sense. So it
Yes.
doesn't sound like I'm reading from a script on the
No.
usually when on the bench. Some of the stuff
No,
is
I
just
was
too
watching
complicated.
it. It did not feel like you were. In fact, in your last video, it didn't seem scripted, especially Hayden, you were going
Well, that was outside. The outside
flying,
stuff ain't scripted.
yeah, flying in the air, and you go, well, I don't want to go too close to my neighbor who's flying, and all of a sudden his drone makes a beeline for yours. I mean,
Yeah,
an
well, you
absolute
can't script
beeline.
moments. You can't script moments like
No,
that, and you can't. But like the Beta FPV Meteor 65 review, that I did script because there were a lot of points that I really wanted to get down, and it was important that I didn't forget any of that stuff. And when you're on the bench, and I can have my tablet in front, I have the opportunity to do that. Also, there's just some stuff that's really complex, and if I don't at least partially script it, I'm going to miss really important details. But
Yeah.
I've managed to figure out a way of reading or preparing a script or preparing a workflow that, at least in my opinion, doesn't sound like I'm reading from a script. And that's really, really important, I think, on YouTube, is don't sound like a robot. Don't look like you're reading from a script. It will hurt the video.
So tell me how you got into reviewing. How, I think a lot of people are interested. How did people come to you? Did they watch a video? Because your videos, even from the beginning, did really well when you started reviewing. Of course, the field didn't seem as crowded. Maybe it was as crowded, but I wasn't even looking at drones at that time, John. So what made you think that this would be something that would be good for you to do?
So basically, I didn't start on YouTube thinking that I was ever going to get a chance to review anything. I enjoy sharing information. You can see that you can see I did a video on a computer related thing before I did the drone stuff. I made this whole little tutorial on that. I just enjoy sharing that stuff in general. And a company saw some of my drone videos, saw some of my 350QX stuff. That company was GearBest.
Yes.
GearBest said to me, hey, we've seen your videos and we'd like to send you a drone. I was just like, wow, that's amazing. And the rest there was history. GearBest and I had a great little relationship. They sent me a drone. I did a video. It was really, really easy. And yeah, I was definitely thankful for the time that I dealt with GearBest, because it allowed me to get a lot of experience in reviewing drones.
From what I understand with GearBest, though, they were really good in the beginning about reviews and doing all those kind of things. And then something happened within the market that kind of changed that a little bit. Was that
Yes.
your understanding what was happening?
Yeah, something happened. There was a change in management, and the company just really dropped the ball, and it led to people like me not wanting to deal with them anymore because it was that bad. And in 2018, I pretty much just ended up cutting ties with them. And that was it. That was it for them anyway.
But you're still doing reviews. It hasn't seemed to slow you down.
No, I'm still doing reviews. I'm doing reviews of things that I buy. I also have some other vendors that send me stuff. You know, GearBest was just one vendor that really helped to get me going. And the thing is, these people, okay, if you're looking to do reviews, my best advice is do reviews of the stuff that you own. Do reviews of the stuff that you buy. You can always make a video out of the things that you've purchased. And companies out there like Banggood, Amazon vendors, they will see your videos, and it's a matter of time. You will get an offer to do a review. If that's something that you want to do, just make content. Show that you can do it. Because they're looking. Companies are out there looking, and they're still looking. They were looking a lot more aggressively, I think, back in 2015, 2016, all way back then.
Yes,
When
absolutely right.
there weren't as many people doing it. There weren't as many people
Right.
doing it. It was a lot hotter. The market was different, but they're still looking for it. Just do as many. Just keep making content, but don't make crappy content either. Don't just make clickbait crappy content. Make
So
wholesome.
what would be crappy content in your view when you see it and you go, "Oh my God, I'll never get that 50 minutes back"? Because I've seen some
Oh
reviews
man,
that can
I
take
want
that.
to be careful with what I say here.
Yeah, be careful.
Um,
And don't talk about my reviews.
I'm gonna be real non-specific.
Yes, be non-specific.
But when a new drone comes out, especially a popular drone, and I'm sure some people know exactly what I'm talking about, there are a number of individuals out there who race to make every kind of simple-minded, obvious video that they can on the thing that's really not necessary, just so that they can soak in the views from the name of that drone in their video. And I just personally think it's so cringy.
So like,
That's all I'm going to say on that one.
I'm going to say I had a problem with that too, because I thought, what can I put out there in that atmosphere that would not seem the very basic level? Because I'm at the basic level, right? This is the Mamba stack. I can't tell you much about it, but that's what I'm putting in. I'm soldering it in. And so when you get more information, I do think that that's what yours has. You are jam packed with information, and I think that's good.
I try to put a lot of information into my videos, and I'm not saying like that a simple video on any of the subjects is bad, but I can smell it when someone just makes a video and throws it up real quick just to try to get those sweet views from that new popular drone out there, and they're not actually adding anything of value to YouTube. It's like, I feel like they don't even ask themselves, is this a video I would watch? Is this really a useful video? You know, ask yourself that question before you upload it to YouTube. And if the answer is, yeah, probably not, then you probably shouldn't upload it.
So I'm going to tell you what I did. One of my way back videos, 3 years or so ago, I put the video on my lawnmower because I went out to start it and I couldn't get it started. And I was like, oh my gosh, I just bought it last year. It's battery operated. It's really cool, but now it doesn't work. And it took me going online, finding the thing, because I didn't keep the manual, of course, and then figuring out I was just trying to start it wrong. So I put that video up, and here's the thing. I have about 20,000 views on that, and it's evergreen, as they say, because every year people bring their lawnmowers out, as it turns out from the comments, and they forget how to start them. And I will say, John, I thought, and some people in the beginning thought, that was the stupidest video they ever saw. Because I was just teaching them how you turn it on.
I have seen that video, but you know what? Here's the thing. You had a legitimate problem getting that thing turned on.
That is true.
And obviously a number of people are Googling, how do I turn this thing on? You know, you didn't make that video with the intent that you were going to soak in all these views from Evergreen, right? You just made it because you had trouble with it, and that was your experience. True. There's a lot of manufactured content, okay, when it comes to certain drones. I'll just leave it at that.
And let me say, do you find that when you go on to find information or something to review a product before you buy it, there is so much smoke and mirrors that you can waste a considerable amount of time getting to the meat of, is this a good drone?
Oh, sure. There's certainly a lot to deal with when you're trying to decide and sift through everything, and it's a lot.
It can be more than enough. So, but you almost started out right away with starting to build and mod drones.
Yeah, because I rebuilt that 350 into that little frame. I like Scott's comment here. Does the content you create bring some kind of value to your viewing audience? If not, you may want to rethink why you have a YouTube channel in the first place. Yeah, and there's a number of people that should really rethink that. How do you feel about big YouTube personalities doing drone reviews that hardly ever review a drone? It's just because of the size of their channel. Well, I'm not sure who you might be referring to there, but look, as long as someone is making a reasonable effort to do a drone review, then I'm not going to knock them. Everybody has their own ways they want to review drones. But again, if someone's channel is just based on uploading as many videos about a drone that's not in their hand, I mean, I don't know. I want to see people with it. I want to see personally. I want to see someone with the drone. I want to see what they have to say about it. I don't like to. How do I say? I like firsthand information. Okay, I don't need someone to go to a website and show me the specs on the website about a drone. Give me the information firsthand from yourself. I can read specs on a website on my own. I don't need someone to tell me that. That's just me.
Yeah, and I will tell you that, yeah, crypto, I think so. People go on for all different reasons. But the truth is, you're only going to get an audience if you bring value. But there are so many people that value a channel that upload things just because they found it interesting. They don't know if it's going to attract anyone else, but they found it interesting or they wanted to put it up. And so, I mean, they put their content up. I don't know, just on my lawnmower. I didn't know if anyone would find it valuable. I was just like, I can't believe I didn't know how to start this thing. So now that you are doing reviews, are you a millionaire yet, John?
Oh, I'm just rolling in. I got tons of it.
That's what I thought.
Pouring out. It's just pouring out, man. Chink,
Just
chink.
make it rain.
There's so much. Oh man,
So if someone wanted to make money with reviews, though, what would you tell them to do? Because a lot of reviews don't make anything.
It's a good question. I would say at this point, if you intend to make money, make some real money from doing reviews, and you want to make it your full-time gig, there's a lot of competition out there. You better drop what you're doing and fully dedicate yourself to it, because there's people that are out there that are going to beat you to the punch because they're already doing it full time. It's not something that I would, honestly, it's not something that I would recommend doing.
Yeah, Night Train is saying reviews usually get you product, not money. Who was it I was watching? It was 51 Drones. I can't remember. But he said, oh, maybe it was Josh Bardwell. He goes, I do this full time. It is his job. What he does is his job. So
Absolutely.
he has to make enough money to do that. So it's his job.
Right.
Right. And so I've watched him. But what do you think of the people who review drones that aren't honest? Because I had people reviewing drones and I bought a really stupid drone. It kept hitting me in the head.
So unfortunately, and this is just to do more with what happens when you do make it your full-time job and you're not just doing it as something on the side because you want like to test stuff. Yeah, sure. I mean, if you need to put food on the table, there could be a conflict of interest there, but some of them handle that really well, and others I think handle that poorly. And I can't go any further without naming names. Don't want to name any names, but I know people who I think are just putting out crappy content, and they're doing it.
Yeah.
They're just doing it for money. They're not, and they're too into it now. They're just way too into it. So it's changed them. Going full time has changed them. I will say I don't feel like Bardwell is one of them. Bardwell, I respect him massively.
I like Bardwell.
He does a fantastic job. But Bardwell doesn't just do reviews. Bardwell does a lot of tutorials. And honestly, I think that there's more value if you want to talk money on YouTube. There's more value in creating tutorials related to drones than there is doing these reviews. I'll tell you what, the reviews have a shelf life. Okay.
They do.
These drones come out, boom, 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 boom. They're only hot for so long, and nobody cares about them, and they're on to the next model. You might make a tutorial that similar to your mower. People will come back again and again and again for years. We're talking really good shelf life of certain content versus other content. I almost kind of wish that I had done more tutorial videos. I think my channel might be a little bigger because I would say probably 75% of my channel right now, unfortunately, is a bunch of drones that nobody can buy. They're there as a reference for people who do have them, and that's great, but they don't really build you towards anything on YouTube. And a review is a lot of work. It's just as much work as making a tutorial or anything else, but it has a shelf life, and that's just unfortunate.
So, yeah. So one thing I noticed that I think at any time you can do tutorials, because if you do reviews that people can understand, then you can do tutorials that people understand. Because when I was first starting to think about building, I went through so many videos I did not understand. They couldn't break it down to a level that made something to me. Thank you. Thank you, Canadian.
Canadian Drone Pilot makes a great point. You know, that I believe you could see someone just he believes that you can see if someone just created a YouTube review to fill space just to get something out there. Yeah, I mean, I can tell the difference. I mean, it's just something. It's just something you sense. I don't know how to explain that.
True, true. And more people are going to come and see you if they like what you're viewing, what you're saying about it, right?
Right, and that goes off of what Scott just put in the chat there. If your viewers could see that you're passionate about what you're talking about, they will be excited to come back again to see more of what you have to offer them. That's the value. Right.
Going out.
That goes for everybody on YouTube. And in some ways, I feel like, who the hell am I to be talking about this stuff? I have like 3.5K subscribers. I'm a drop in the bucket. But
no, I think you have a good amount of viewers that depend on what you're going to say, because they're looking at all different kinds of things. The question is, do you understand John's reviews, Valerie? I do.
night,
Actually, I
Baduga.
do. I like his reviews because I've been watching them all today. I like his skunk too. The skunk was cute. So I think there's something for everyone on his channel. So let's talk about what you're going to do now with your channel. You're doing reviews. Are you thinking about keeping it there? Are you thinking about spreading out a little bit more? Like doing tutorials?
I'm still doing the reviews, but I would like to move more toward doing more tutorials, especially in recent times. The supply chain, the hobby supply chain, is not going so well from China.
Right.
So we're definitely going to see less. We're definitely going to see less drones, I think, this summer. We're seeing it already from more of the small time. I'm not talking like DJI companies like that. Those companies, they have lots of money. Xiaomi, they all have lots of money, and they had releases they were planning on going forward with already. But they've definitely got production issues over there in China right now. They've got supply issues, and that's where a lot of this stuff comes from. So that being said, I don't think we're going to see the abundance of products this summer that I'm used to seeing come out. So yeah, I am looking more towards doing some more tutorial related stuff. Like I said, the shelf life of those things is better. And I tell you what, not just that, I love it when I get a comment on a video that I made about how to wire a FreeSky RXSR receiver correctly, because there's this confusing wire color, and if you don't get it right, you won't be able to arm your drone. You wonder, why the hell is my remote not communicating? I've gotten so many comments on there about how it made people's day. It got them in the air. It got them flying. And you just you look at your phone and you see, man, someone was able to fly today because of a tutorial that I put up. Yes, that's a good day. That's a great way to open your phone and see your YouTube messages and start your day. And that content makes me feel good. So
And I like
not
it.
only will it help build the channel if I do some of that, it
Mhm.
will also be genuinely helpful to people, maybe more helpful to people than some of these reviews.
Because when you do pieces like that, you just single it out. That's better. Because when I was looking for things to build my drone and I was setting up before I built it, everybody uses different parts. Nobody's using the same stuff.
Oh yeah.
No two FPVs are the same. So
Yep.
that makes it a little bit difficult. So if you can look it up, well, whichever one you're doing, right? My
Mm-hmm.
PDX or whatever, how do I do that? And they have that exact thing in the description. This is what that makes it so much better.
Absolutely.
So much easier. It was
Absolutely.
very hard to find those. When I was doing it, it's very hard to find. So what else are you gonna do with your channel? I
I
mean,
mean, I guess that's more toward what I was thinking of. Maybe some more tutorials. I will continue to do the reviews for as long as I'm, able to do them. I think there will be probably a little bit less on the channel this year compared to other years. We shall see. I do have a few interesting things coming up that I think people are gonna like. Interesting models to review, but in some ways, I guess my channel is in some ways I guess my channel is still kind of free flowing because I don't know for sure what its future holds entirely.
mhm.
I do want to buy the DJI system, but
You,
and this is juicy. Well, this is
yeah,
juicy.
tell me.
Apparently, DJI has an updated goggle and an updated air unit. Got leaked today. Yeah, apparently
Ooh.
got leaked today. So I was thinking about that. I was thinking, do I spring for these goggles now? They're only
uh,
like a year old, and I'm thinking, well, with the Mavic Air 2 coming out, maybe they also had new goggles in the pipeline. And some people were saying, nah, nah, nah. I'm just like, no, they've got to be out there now. Will they come out? Who knows? But
and when will they come out?
nobody knows because whoever leaked it wasn't supposed to do that. But yeah, interesting.
Yeah, yeah. So guys, you heard
Interesting.
it here.
So
A
I
leak.
will I will I will be keeping my eye on that. So if any of you have had your eye on the DJI goggles, look around and see what I'm talking about. Interesting stuff. Interesting stuff.
Yeah, because when they come out, we just put they just put out the Mavic Air 2, which everyone went crazy about. At least it seemed in our community. A
Right.
lot of people have it. When the Mini came out, people that I didn't think would buy a Mini bought them. Our
Mm-hmm.
FPV guys were buying them. We had a lot of people buy them. And now, if that system comes out, yeah, yeah, I think that DJI is going to be doing a lot.
Yeah, well, it should be interesting. Like I said, not all the details are known, but should definitely be interesting.
So Crypto wants to know if you have any drone to show them. I will say that I do. If we're looking at FPV, this is the one I built when I was at Kim's Furballs. I love my drone.
And
Ooh,
that's the one that I built.
that is nice.
It took me a very long time to actually build one of these from the ground up. I only built this last year,
Mm-hmm.
winter of last year. Up until that time, I had Frankenstein stuff. I had rebuilt bind and fly models. Never went from scratch and did it. Which is kind of crazy given how long I've been in this.
Yeah, and you've been modding stuff all along. So yeah, I'm surprised. I thought you were, but when I looked at your channel, I could tell that your channel is based a little more on reviews. So you've been flying a lot. Now, I saw that you don't have your 107 yet. I'm not holding it over your head, but when are we doing that? Because I know you want to.
Yeah, I'm thinking about doing that at some point. I'm not really rushing to get it done now, but it is something that I would like to get. I guess one of the things about it for me is like it's $150 and you got to renew it every 2 years. I wish it lasted longer. Does anyone else agree?
Right.
They wish the 107 lasted longer.
Oh, I would say lasted forever.
Yeah, with all the
I'm not
changes
I'm gonna
going on,
say that.
we'll see what happens with that. We'll see. I know you recently became a 107 pilot,
Yep,
and congratulations on that.
thank you. But here's one of the reasons why too I made a move on it. Because right now they're slowing their roll on all the rules that they're doing. They're not talking about it as much
Hmm.
because of the pandemic. So I thought if I could slip in there and get it, I won't
Yeah,
have to
that's
redo
true.
it when they put a bunch of crazy in there.
Yeah, that's another point. They may make it harder. They may change it significantly to. Yeah, that is a good point. That's a good point. Then you'll have 2 years before you have to worry about any of that.
Right.
Just
I
see
don't
where
have to
things
worry.
go.
You know,
Absolutely. Because with
yeah,
remote ID and all that on the way, it's definitely going to. I could see that being part of the 107 test.
right.
Absolutely.
I did not want to. I thought, let me get it. They can do all that crazy and then I'll worry about that later to
With the way
build.
things are going as well, it may be just easier to get a 107 to avoid certain problems.
That's what I was thinking.
So we're gonna have to see how things go. Talking about the FAA and all their stuff depresses me, especially lately. But that's a whole other topic.
That is, that's a different topic for a
We talk
different.
about that all the time over at Coast. We talk a lot
I know.
about the FAA and the
I
sky
know.
falling down over coast to coast drones, which I'm sure some of you guys who watch the Coast show know about drone therapy and all that.
So that's the first time I met you, John. I went over to Coast like 4 years ago, maybe 3 years ago.
yeah, I think Coast is 3 years.
And
Bill's
I
gonna kill
saw
me
you
for not
on
knowing how
there
old the
with a
show
bunch of
is.
the guys, bunch of the guys that used to be on it all the time. That's when I first saw you. And so yeah, it's been a long, long time. This is how long it took me to get him to come on here with me.
Yeah,
I'm just saying
it's
it
been a
took
long
a
time. Yeah, I
while.
think what Coast is in its third season now. Yeah, something like that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. They've been on for quite a while.
No, and I've done plenty of rants about the FAA, and there's a
Yep.
video up on my channel about the FAA. I did my part to make a video, so
And I think that that's just what we have to do now. We just have to go on and talk about what's actually happening. The problem is it's hard not to go into the hype. Do you find that? You have to kind of ferret through what's real, what's not real, what's true, what's not true, and
oh
then just
sure,
bring information.
oh
And
sure,
I think that's all we can do. Just bring information, and then what you do with it is up to you.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So what is the next thing we're going to be seeing from you? What's the next review? What's the next tutorial?
So I actually have a Cinewoop that I'm really excited to put my DJI Osmo Action on. It should be here in a few days, and I'm gonna try to take some cool video with it.
Oh my
And it's
God,
not
I
very
love
expensive, so we'll see how it all works out. And like I said, I'm gonna have my eyes on that DJI system, especially if there's gonna be a new pair of goggles out. I'll feel more confident about buying it because I'm in this weird spot now. It's like, do I want to buy these goggles? They've been out for a while. Could they be releasing something new? And now I kind of got my answer. I kind of got my answer
yeah.
today. So for me, that's the next level, the DJI system, because I've been flying analog now for 5 years. I'm ready to try something different. I'm ready to breathe some new life into FPV for me.
Yeah, I'm excited. If you're going to buy the DJI goggles, then I'll actually give them a serious look. I can't get them right now. I'm going in some directions that I have to see them through. But yeah, I think if you do it, I would love to see that.
Oh, that would be awesome. I appreciate that. And I'll do a review of them for sure. I mean, well, everyone else will have done a review of them by that time, but
But you
I'll
know
still
what? It
do
doesn't
my own.
matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I was going to tell you, It doesn't
Well, hey,
matter.
I won't be sponsored by DJI, so there'll be that.
That's
'Cause
a good thing. I'm
I
sorry.
won't, I won't be sponsored by DJI. I'll never be sponsored by DJI. So you can at least trust that those reviews are 110%.
Yeah, because the one thing I have noticed is that when you start getting sponsored by certain people, that your reviews can change. And I haven't seen that in your case, but I was watching people who said DJI, this, that, and the other. They were saying all the stuff about it. The minute they came out with the goggles and they sponsored them, this is the best thing ever. You're never going to get anything better than this. This is top, this, that, and the other. And they just kind of fell over. And I thought, well, I don't know if I can trust that review because
Yeah, some people get really infatuated with stuff like that. I will say, and this goes for me too, and this goes honestly for anybody who gets an item to review. If you got something for free, it is going to affect how you review it to some degree, whether you like it or not, because you got it for free. You didn't pay for it, right? And that's just how it is. And some people are going to end up being a little more objective than others. There's a difference, but I'll be the first to say this, that yes, I'm a little biased. Everybody's biased. Everyone has a small little level of bias depending on who they are when they get something
I,
for free because they didn't buy it. But it can also go the other way too, where some people, if they spend too much money on something, they want to feel like their purchase was good. Whereas someone who might get this stuff all the time is just like, yeah, it's okay, but I didn't really pay for it, so I have no attachment to it. I don't need it to be good. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Some people don't want to feel like they bought a turd. I've had people come on some of my videos and tell me, "Oh, you're not doing it right. This drone is not a piece of crap. This is one of the best drones I ever flown. You just got to make sure not to do so and so." I'm just like, all right, dude, whatever. I'm like, if you want to put up with what I think is a clear flaw and you think it's great, go ahead. That's fine. It's like, come on. You're getting mad at me for pointing out what I think is a flaw on a drone that you bought, and now you're mad that you didn't do
right.
the research before you bought it? Come on, grow up. Get off my channel.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Because everyone becomes an ace reviewer when they're looking at your review, right?
Well, yeah, I guess they're criticizing what you're doing. And if I find the more often that you don't like something, someone's going to come out of the woodwork and be like, no, 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 you were doing it wrong. Or they're going to say something. And sometimes I do something wrong. Sometimes I do it wrong. And I'll come back and I'll say, yeah, oops, I did that wrong. I messed it up. But yeah, what it comes down to is some people make a purchase and then they get buyer's remorse and they go on videos like mine and where I point out that it's a piece of crap and they don't want to believe that. So they wig out. They freak
Yeah.
out. It happens. It happens.
Let's
Ooh,
see.
Corey Manos said, friend of mine had DJI FPV fail safe right into the river. Ooh.
Or this person's kayak got a fine for not wearing life jacket. Went to the store to buy life jacket. What a day.
Oh
Guys, if you
man.
want what that little icon next to people's name are, is they joined my channel. And I just want you to know on my channel there are like 3 levels, and you can join my channel for as little as $2 a month. That's right, because I wanted to make sure that everyone had a chance to if they wanted to. And with everything going on right now, I thought it'd make it nice for everyone. So anyway,
Yeah,
$2,
look.
$5, $10, and I think 25. So know that you can do that anytime you want. And
Yeah, look, Corey. I was gonna talk to Corey now here, who's
yes,
saying,
go ahead.
yeah, friend of his had it fail.
$100.
Yeah, the DJI system is not perfect. I would definitely would never think that it was perfect, but certainly from watching some reviews out there, you might think that it is, that it's the best things in sliced bread. And DJI is just the best. They're amazing. Oh my god. No, of course it has flaws. one of the biggest flaws it has is from what I've seen is because of the way the frequency hopping on it works. It's hard to
Right.
fly with other people on analog. Now,
That's right.
granted, I don't fly with a lot of other people, so that's not an issue for me right now. But yeah, that's been a
True.
problem, and I do know that it can just freeze up the way it goes. It can just end up going on you. Unlike analog will hold in there for a little longer. So it's certainly not a perfect system, and I know that I would know that just getting it, but it's still pretty powerful. I don't want to turn this into a DJI fest. If you guys want a DJI fest, you know what channels to go to.
You
For
know where to go. You
DJI
know where to
fest.
go. You know, I like,
There's plenty of DJI fest channels out there, and I'm not one of them.
no, I like the Air 2 so far, what I'm hearing it. But I went on to Paul's channel and I looked at him circling the ships and saw what he could do with it because he's a good flyer. And he's going to tell you if he thinks, I mean, he's bought a lot of drones and sent them back. No matter what people said, he's like, yeah, but this does not work for me. So I trust Paul's stuff too.
Well, Paul
So
is
I
someone who
listen
gets
to
out there
him.
and uses it every day. And sadly, I hate to say this, as a reviewer, you don't get to use the stuff that you get every day. It would just be impossible. It would literally just be impossible. And I kind of hate that because I know that by not using the stuff every day, I might be missing things like
Right.
long-term manufacturing defects, things like that. I do have a general policy when I review a drone that you don't do a maiden flight. I just don't do that. I will maiden it myself, put a few flights on it, and then I'll do the review. Usually what that allows me to do is learn about it in advance, become more knowledgeable about it, and it'll at least catch anything that's going to immediately go wrong with the drone. Whereas if I had just taken it out, flown it, did a maiden, I might not have caught that.
But John, doesn't that throw you behind the eight ball then? Because I mean, people are coming out with videos before they barely have the drone in hand.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're taking your time, which I think you need to do, but if you're taking your time with that drone and you're doing the maiden flight yourself and you're trying to figure it all out, doesn't that throw you behind?
It does. It absolutely does throw me behind. But you know what? I don't really care. I don't really care. I would rather take my time with it and just do it at my own pace and upload the video whenever I'm ready to upload it. I am not in a I don't put myself in a huge rush to get it up as soon as possible. I prefer to put some flights on it, take some time, get to know it. Now maybe if it's like a more toy grade drone, yeah, maybe give it a couple flights, or maybe I'll do a maiden on that. But for stuff that's a little more complicated, no, I'm not gonna rush to get it up. I take my time with it. But you are right, that does hurt the channel in a sense that you're not putting content out as fast as everyone else is getting it up. I will say what I've noticed today, though, and is that it seems that the companies at this point have figured out who they're going to send the first batch of products to.
Oh yeah.
And I would say that I'm more second or third tier. So there is less pressure to get out what I'm going to get out, because I know I'm going to be reviewing something that already has some videos up on it already. Very rarely today do I have the opportunity to be first to review something. Almost always there's another video out. It's not like it used to be where they were sending out packages with pretty much the same shipping speed to everybody all at once, and there were not as many people doing it. I could get something and be the first one to do that video. Today, that doesn't happen as often.
No, it doesn't.
So I don't feel an immense amount of pressure to get a video up as soon as possible. Let me test it for a while, and I'll be able to give you a closer look at it. That maybe somebody who has a crap ton of products just simply doesn't have the time to figure it out.
Yeah, and I gotta say that it's one of the things that distinguishes you from a lot of other people. It just
I appreciate that.
And I will say this also. I'm going to go back over the channel because we're going to really quickly go to Kim, and John's going to be in with Kim, and I'm going to step back a little. But his last video has over 6,000 views, or 600 or 2,600. This is how much he's respected in the community, that people are actually, they're looking at the content, they're going in and they're checking out his channel. And I think that speaks, it really does speak volumes, right? It just does. And John, I so appreciate you. We haven't even got off the tip of the iceberg. We got so much more to talk about, but
Oh yeah.
you're going to be coming back if I have to drag you. So we know this. So one thing I want to say before we go on, I've really given thought, because I have made everyone a moderator in here. And I had something happen and I thought maybe that wasn't a good idea anymore. But I will tell you, I think if you don't get a mod really fast, or if your friends come in, they don't get it really fast, just make sure they know I have to vet the channel a little bit. So if no one knows who they are, they're not going to get it really fast anymore, because I can't. But I do like having mods in, because it makes it so I do know who the channels that we've already vetted, that we know, or someone has spoken up for, and they say we know them. So
Absolutely.
it's not that I'm trying to play favorites, believe me, guys. But the other side of that is, then I expect you to moderate. And so if you see a new channel come in, feel free to go and look at it and see and ask, guy, you don't have any vids. What are you thinking? Are you thinking about getting some vids? Go ahead and ask. I don't mind. That's why you're moderators, and that's kind of the job. So if that sounds good to everyone, I hope it does. If it doesn't, well, sorry, that's kind of the way it has to be. So Kim was doing that for me off air today, and Robert also does. But if you want to be one of those moderators, let me know, because I really do appreciate the work, and it is work. So I appreciate you. Now, for the next half hour, we are going to be paying attention to Kim, Furball FPV. He's going to be talking about some of the products he's got, talking about FPV. He has a friend with him, John, because we're not letting Cuppi go anytime soon.
Kim, I'm gonna go get my Furball cup, but I still haven't gotten my PayPal payment, Kim. Where's the PayPal payment for showing your merch, man?
What?
Am I gonna get that anytime soon or what?
Oh, the check's in the mail.
Oh, the check's in the mail. When I get that check, it better not bounce. I'll be right back. I'm getting my
Don't worry.
cup.
Oh yeah, Geeks Fan, I do. That's why I like someone just to say, hey, we know them. But that's why I'm not modding people as fast right now. I'm just taking some time till we get to know them a little bit. Because
did everybody click the like button for Val?
Oh, they have. It's been
and there's a bunch of channel links in there for everybody's channels. If you want to go and check it, it makes it easier for you to get to their channel than having to open up a new page and copy and paste.
So guys, I am still here. I am listening, but I'm going to turn my camera on so we can focus on Kim and John. Okay, there we go.
As your Furball support.
Oh yeah. Hey, I got something new.
Oh, what you got going on?
Well, you know, as you get older, you're wearing glasses, and sometimes the glasses aren't good enough. It's inexpensive, and frankly, I thought it was pretty good for the price. I'll start it up for you.
Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Check it out. Guys, I have been reading the chat the whole time. It's just been hard to talk in the chat and do the interview at the same time. But I really appreciate all the people here. Canadian Drone Pilot. You mind if I do a little shout outs here, Kim, while you're getting set up? Canadian Drone Pilot, Crypt 101, Green Patches. I've seen all you guys. And I'll make sure I got all you guys. I'll make sure of that. Of course, YouTube makes it a pain in the butt to do that these days, but I know how to find all you. Oh, Rad Girl FPV has stopped in. I really appreciate the support. Okay. So it looks like you've got like some kind of magnifying glass thing that brings that up on the screen. Let me see.
Just takes a little bit of adjustment there.
A little bit. Is that like a micro? Is it like a webcam or something, or like a microscope, or what is that? Let me see.
I'll bring my camera over. I haven't got it all set up here yet.
Yeah. I was gonna say, Kim, move your lamp. All right, what do we got going here? Oh wow, you can get real close and see that stuff up nice and close, man.
Plus, it takes a wee bit of adjustment there because, like I said, I haven't set it up totally yet.
So what is this? Is this like a little microscope or magnifying glass unit that can show you up close on a board?
Hold on a sec.
I think it might be hard for people to see. Kim, your camera's going off to the side.
Okay, just 1 minute there. I'm just trying because I haven't had time to set it up yet.
Okay, 1 second. I'll be right back. Grab something I have on camera.
You can adjust it. You could zoom it in 500 times. You can check out your soldering or your PC board. As you can see, so it looks like.
So it's like a little USB magnifier.
Yeah.
How much was that?
I think it was $20. It has a light. You can go 500 zoom. You can do capture.
Wow.
You can change.
Now my eyes are pretty good, but
specific things.
Oh wait, Val was stuck in the waiting room. How is that possible? I'm the host. Okay.
It's a white reflection off the camera.
Okay, somehow I ended up as the host. That's weird.
You can.
Oh wow, I really like that. I really like how up close you can see that stuff.
So really quickly, my internet went out. So right now, I'm just trying to, I'm going to go ahead and turn my video off, but
Okay.
I'm still here.
Okay.
Just on my iPad.
I just have to adjust it. You just have to tinker with it a little bit to adjust the how blurry and stuff. And zoom it in, but it reads. The PC board is really good.
Yeah, it really shows a lot on the board. You know, even for someone who has good eyesight, I would like to have that.
I mean, sometimes when you're soldering, and you might have a hair of the wire touching somewhere.
Yes, and
I've looked
at. Yeah, I've struggled with that myself to see is there a hair or something here? Is it touching?
You set
is
it
it
up
not?
and stuff, once you set it up and stuff, you can really zoom in detail. You can recheck your soldering.
Corey Mano, yes, sometimes I wonder too, and then I do the multimeter testing, and I'm like, okay, hopeful it doesn't go up in smoke. This kind of removes some of that wonder. So this thing was like $20. Everybody should have this thing who does any kind of soldering, especially.
Like I said, I haven't dialed it in totally.
Even for not dialing it in, man, that looks great.
You can check your.
I'm gonna have to check that out. Is that on Banggood?
Yeah, Banggood.
Yeah, you know what? Shoot me a link to it because I wouldn't mind picking that up.
I mean, you can use it by hand if you have a steady hand. It doesn't have to be on that little stand here, the suction thing. You can take it off there and move it around. It has its own light on the wire. Plugs in the back of your computer. You get a CD with it.
I'm sorry. It's USB, right?
Yeah, USB.
Okay.
Because the other ones you buy, it's fixed. So you can't move it around.
Oh, wow. I think I found it, dude. I was just looking. think I found the one
For
you
20
have.
bucks.
Yeah, it says 1600 8 LED USB zoom. Oh man, I'm gonna grab one of these. Actually, I'm looking at this one. It's got a metal plate. It's got a heavy metal plate on this version.
I mean,
I'm looking
you
at
can
here.
zoom in on just anything with it. Me, I find it really handy.
Yeah,
You can
man.
see bad soldering
I think I see
points,
the one.
but for the
Very
money,
cool. Yeah, hell, the 20 bucks you spend on something like this could literally save you so much money just to know that your connections are not bridged, or to be able
well,
to see.
just one little hair, you know.
It can cause a problem. Absolutely. Oh wow, I really appreciate you sharing this with me, man. I'm gonna go ahead and probably order one, and this will probably end up being a review. I'll review it.
Cool. Me, I like it. You can tell how crappy you're soldering on it, or if it's not touching correctly. Uh, it just takes a little bit of adjusting to get it the way you want it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But you actually, and if you're not sure, sometimes you can actually see something bridged, like solder that's bridged across something, you know,
Probably what I'll do is I'll get the
like
1600 one
there.
with the metal base. I know that says it's 24 bucks, but I want the one with the metal base. I think I would like that better than the suction cup.
Yeah.
Especially since I'm sure you've seen my bench.
Well, the suction doesn't stick to all surfaces, though.
Yeah, I would just rather have the heavy metal base. That way it
But you're able to remove that off that suction thing. You just hold it by hand if you want.
Oh, okay.
But if
Yeah, but I
you
think
got the shakes, you're gonna
uh-huh.
you're gonna be like, ah. But I find it pretty cool.
Absolutely.
It really, and
Oh,
that's the
links in the
smallest
chat.
thing.
Canadian Drone Pilot just put the link in the chat, apparently. There's one on Amazon. Well, that's Amazon Canada, $29. Let me see.
I think it's pretty handy.
Oh yeah, I see it on Amazon too. I got it on it. I can see it on Amazon here as well. Wow, everyone in hobby should have one of these. I am surprised that these are not more talked about.
Well, I mean,
GearBest has it even cheaper, Canadian. Yeah, $17 Canadian, I think, if you don't mind waiting. But
like you can see bad solder. You know what you're looking at.
yeah, I'm gonna pick one of these up. I really should pick one of these up. So, did you get that because you're preparing to do another build, or what have you got going on?
Well, for doing inspections,
Do inspections. Yeah, that makes sense.
you know, you move a wire and because as you get older, it gets to the point where I wear glasses, but they don't magnify deep enough
Yep.
to actually see something moving.
Yep.
Or a cold solder. With this, you
Yeah,
can see a cold solder
that makes sense.
because of the light.
Hey, Cam,
Yeah,
tell them on GearBest they're $17 Canadian.
GearBust is $17 Canadian.
Yeah, that's what Roger told everyone in the chat, that it's cheapest on GearBest. You'll be waiting weeks for it though, but eventually it'll show up.
What?
Yeah, if it's not something you need right away.
Well,
But
I mean,
I would probably end up getting it on Amazon, honestly, because I can see it here. I think it's looking I can get that one with the metal base for $25 shipped on Amazon for me here in America. Very, very cool, Kim. Oh, and it even hooks up to your phone too if you want. If you have a smartphone, this one that I'm looking at. Oh, everybody who does any kind of
Like
soldering work
it's
needs
hard
to
to see
have this
those
thing.
boards, those PC boards.
Yeah, anybody. Yeah, someone's. Let's see here. That'd be good for a lot of hobbies. Yeah, Crypto 101 said, but it's really
And it takes like
absolutely.
2 minutes to download and they update it.
Yeah, and I could see it even works on your phone if you have like an Android phone.
Yeah, I mean, if you need to check something in your dog's ear,
Yeah, you could do all sorts of things. Just get a closer look.
it's called AM Cap. I think it's called.
If you want to browse these generally, just search for USB digital microscope.
Yeah,
That's what the product is, and there's lots of them out there. There's lots of these digital microscopes out there. Apparently, it's a thing. Yeah, I'll be picking one up, man. Especially because I'm finding that I really like the micro sector more and more. I mean, and we're trying to work on drones like this. Even if your eyesight is good, it's still not pleasant. It's still not fun to work on anything small like this. I've done some work on whoops too, which Kim, I'm sure trying to solder on a whoop board. Oh, forget it. That's a challenge. It's challenging compared to do
especially
the big
a
stuff.
2020 stack. Have you tried to solder on a 2020?
I have tried to deal with a 2020 stack, yes, and it is small. You have to be so careful.
See,
This
the
is a
other ones
2020
they sell it, it's fixed. So when you're soldering right there near the cap,
Yeah.
and you melt the cap.
Look at how small this is, right? Look at how small. I have to
That's freaking
solder that
tiny, but
receiver
this you be able
wire.
to see everything with it.
I have to
If you're
solder that
good,
receiver wire there, and all those
you can
pans are
actually
so
solder
close
by
together.
looking at the screen.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And then even just to verify that what you did isn't crossing or there's nothing touching each other. Kim, I
Because
think that was an
I mean,
awesome thing to share with everybody.
you can spend almost $100 for a Mamba stack and poof, and then you wonder why and go and look with this thing and you realize you cross soldered something.
Joe Mack is funny. He says, "How are your eyes good if you wear glasses?" Yeah, that's a good question. My eyesight is perfect with these glasses. I can read anything I want, even the
Like I got
smallest of stuff.
bifocals on this, long distance and short distance. And with
I'm
bifocal,
extremely nearsighted. I
I can't
can't.
see anything with a bifocal.
Yeah, but
You're
these
always
glasses make
having
it
to move your
perfect.
head. So I find this really good. I mean,
Yeah, I can read things. I can read things. There's absolutely no problem with these glasses, and I can see really, really small stuff. But it's not fun.
yeah, it's like even with my bifocals, I was having problems reading these small letters, G and D and that, and I'm like having to adjust it.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're soldering and stuff like that, sometimes your eyes start to water and you're like this, trying to clear your eyes, you're wondering, what is that saying? Because now they're doing the print so small that you almost have to have thick glasses like this.
Yeah, so the glasses you have, they're not prescription or anything, right? They're just regular store-bought reading glasses and whatnot, or bifocals. Yeah, that's why I can see anything at all. It's because these are prescription. That's the only reason. And I actually have a very high prescription, but it resolves it.
I
It makes
mean,
it
I
possible for me to
normally
see.
don't wear glasses, but when I'm working on small objects like this, I have to wear them. But your eyes, like I say, they start to hurt, and if you're doing it often, With this, you just have to look at the screen, you know? And you can
Yeah,
see-
Canadian drone pies. That's the one thing getting into building an FPV drone, seeing those microscopic solder points would be frustrating. Well, you have the option to avoid dealing with that. If you build a 5-inch and you go with a classic large stack size, this is pretty easy to solder, right? I mean, Kim, your 5-inch stuff
yeah,
with the regular sizes of everything, that's easy to solder.
you can see it.
Yeah, was very clear to see.
But when
Very
you
clear
start
for me to see.
when you start messing around with things like this,
Yeah. or this, or this. Yeah,
oh
it's
man.
just
And you spend so much money on the damn things that if you burn it, and how many times has somebody burned a board?
yeah, not to mention you can easily lift a pad too. Just lift a pad up. I've lifted more pads from bad solder practice than I would like to admit. So yeah, it happens. It sucks. But
It has its
yeah,
own
that's
light
a
on.
fantastic product, sir.
It has its own light on the switch.
I'll just put a link,
And increase
$17.99
the
on
light.
Amazon.
So yeah, I just
Or one of
the
those.
light
Ooh.
tenfold. So I just increased the light by 10 times the amount I just had. So right now it's really bright.
That's awesome, man. That is really, really awesome. But yeah, if you go 5-inch, it's a lot easier to see. But I'm liking the small models though, because I can take them and use them in places where I might not feel comfortable flying a 5-inch, or I might just want to be able to cut through things with the smaller stuff. They're fun. They're useful in their own right. If I'm gonna rip out in a big open place, then I'll grip break out my 5-inch. But otherwise, I want to fly stuff like this.
See, it has a zoom button on the side. You press it. You can change like in the options, you can change it multiple different ways, options. The zoom is up top here, the clarity. You just have to slide it like that. Then I'm not sure what the snap, I think, is for to take a photo of it. In case you want a picture of it to say, hey, look, this is where it's burnt, you know.
Yeah, Val was mentioning that she's looking through Amazon, and she says they do have ones that cost more too. Maybe some of them do a little bit more than others. Maybe get a higher magnification. I was looking at one here that this one's a little more expensive, but it's actually wireless. That's kind of neat.
That's interesting.
But it's like $40, But it is
Ooh.
wireless for someone who wants that convenience. Apparently, it transmits to your iPhone, your iPad, all that fun stuff. $40, but also see one with 1600 magnification. I don't know, what is yours? What was the magnification on yours? What is it? Just curious. Well, don't worry about it if it's
352 or 20 times 280.
Oh, okay.
No, 640 by 480 by default.
Okay.
You can speed up the frame rate. You can compress it. It says stream format. You have caption, you have options. You can video broadcast it.
How did I not know that this was a thing? Like, wow.
You can take a picture by clicking on the snap. You can take a picture of it. There's a whole bunch of options up top.
Very nice.
Oh, it's pretty handy. Once you got it all set up and stuff like that, you won't have to move it around and all this there. But I found it pretty handy there that I actually could see the board, because that's a 20 by 20 on there, and it's just jam packed full. There's no space in there at all, and it makes it a lot easier to be able to see what the heck you're looking at. Because right now I can't. All I see is a blur just by looking at it like that. I need to
So-
bind this thing.
So Kim, what are you thinking is your next move in FPV? Are you content with what you got, or
I
what are
don't
you
know.
thinking is the next step for you?
I don't know. I mean, maybe improve the Fat Shark goggles and go with something else.
Hmm.
I mean, Fat Sharks are okay, the standard Fat Shark goggles,
Oh yeah,
but they don't have the diversity as those other ones. 2 antennas, you know. The video's quality. They have Orca ones. They're called Orca.
Yeah, like the whale.
Yeah. I've been hearing a lot of good things about those, but they're expensive. Well, you know, the Fat Sharks, they're, how would you put it? They're outdated. The standard Fat Sharks.
hmm
They're like old school. And they're doing leaps and bounds. Even Fat Sharks, even it's got something like the DJI's got. They're creating something like that.
they're trying to, yeah, the Bifrost, and I have seen the new Bifrost V2. Yes,
Yeah. So what do you think of that?
it's interesting. It's definitely interesting.
The price is there.
Yes, it's that is true. That is true.
But yeah, if you think about it, these goggles here, the Dominator, they're old school. You get one antenna, small screen. People are practically giving them away because they've advanced. Because these are like what, 5, 6, 8 years old now.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, these over here, my Dominator V3s are pretty old too. I bought these in 2016, so these are like 4 years
Yeah, but
old
that
now.
still works well though.
Oh, they still work really, really well. And
Like
and the
these,
other thing about those
like
is
these don't have a DVR. You have to put a DVR,
right, and I see you've done that.
and there's no fan.
Yeah, that's
So when you start sweating in the sun, your goggles start to fog, and you've got one eye that's working right, and the other
you
one's all
need that
fogged
fan,
up.
man. You need that fan.
Yeah, because these can get bloody
Yeah.
hot, man. Believe me.
Yeah, I tell you what though, even if I get those DJI goggles, I am probably not going to get rid of my Fast Sharks. I can't. I have too many drones that are just not going to get the DJI system right away. And you know what? Analog is classic, right? Analog is.
I don't mind static, you know, unless you're gonna do 2 miles.
I don't mind it, but after flying with analog for all these years, I'm ready to try something different. That's my thing. I've been looking at analog for years.
Yeah, that's
and
it.
I just want to try something different. But I'm not going to abandon all my analog models. And there's
No,
always that risk that
I mean,
and this is something-
if you upgrade, just consider starting somebody off with a pair of goggles. But
But
those
yeah,
are
I would
still
keep
good.
these, dude. I would keep these.
Yeah, because
I-
they still work good. They got dual antenna. Is there a module on that?
Yes, there's the LaForge module. It's actually that's 3 years old too. It is abandoned hardware. The company is gone that makes it. They don't
Oh,
do
really?
it anymore. Still works great. And no problems with it.
So I got some questions. Hey, John Cuppi, that would be great to use when doing instructional video. Could you take snaps of circuit boards before and after showing the finished solder connections. That's
Oh, I'm
from
sure you
Navy Drone
could.
Pilot.
Yeah, I'm sure
Also,
you could.
so John Cuppi, what would you recommend for a noob FPV pilot wanting to get into cinematic FPV as a start? What size FPV would support the DJI system?
Oh,
You're
good
welcome.
question. So I tell you what, there's a lot. If you don't want to build something, I think Armatan Quads has some really cool bind and fly models on their site. I don't know if you're looking more toward Cinewhoop stuff or a 5-inch, but they have some custom built models on their site that are made for the DJI system or made with it on it. And I would look I would look towards that. I love Armatan stuff. This is an Armatan quad. I built it myself, but the frame, they make really, really solid stuff.
Is that the lifetime frame that they keep?
Lifetime warranty, yes.
So if you've seen Nava's quads, his actually broke, but it broke lengthwise.
Mhm.
And they're sending him a new one. So he's just going to switch it on over. Hey,
Absolutely.
Wagner. So guys, let me ask you a really quick question. What did you think of this format? I'm just going to ask the people on the panel and then the chat what you think, because that's going to be our format for right now. And does that work for you?
Yeah.
What do you think, John?
I think it's great.
And I got some stuff coming. Okay, it's going to be late because it's eBay, but antenna mods for your drones, the antenna tubes, because I am sick of ripping the bloody antennas off those drones. When you pull the battery off, you end up snagging one of those antennas, you break it right off from your RX receiver.
Yeah, crypto, what I'm doing is I do 2 lives a week, but Tuesday is going to be tech. And it's going to be the kind of tech that I do, which would be like my live stream deck and some other things. The tech that we're doing on Kim's stream is going to be all about FPV, mostly building gates, looking at that endoscope, doing things that he's finding that's making his life easier. Now, what I would suggest anyone in here who has something they just like to show Kim and talk with Kim about, go ahead and get a hold of Kim. Let him know you want to come in and talk to him about some new thing you think it's kind of cool. And you can reference back to your channel. We're all good about that here because we're sharing and growing and all of that. So just come on and talk with him about what you want. And it's going to be his part. And then at some point, he'll be bringing his part over to his channel, which will be super cool. So know that we'll be doing that. Okay, we'll have a look. Yeah, he has some great stuff. Good format, learning a lot. Oh, great. Thank you.
Glad people like it.
Yeah, because you know what John Cuppi was, this is why I love John, because he just brings the truth. He just preaches it, tells it, and then you get to learn it. John and I have talked quite a bit offline, so I kind of know where he's at with what he does. And I agree with him. You have to bring value, and coming on here and just having that conversation. When I want that, you see me all the time on Rogers. We have those great conversations, but on here, I wanted it to be a little bit different so that Roger, I don't know how to say it where it's just all flows, but nobody does Roger better than Roger does Roger. I'll just say that. Nobody does Roger better than Roger does. And so it was turning out that my stream was just a little bit of an extension. And so I've talked to a few people I respect about it. And I just wanted to do something different that Kim and I could share, but different and all that. So this is it. First
So you're
out.
kicking it off. This is the kickoff for that.
Yes, it is. And John,
And
do
I
you
get
want
to be part
do
of the
that? Hey, Jeff Freestyle. So that makes it even more special. So the first hour is going to be interviews. If you guys want to be interviewed, just send me a text or something. Let me know. And then Kim's going to be doing a half hour just on FPV. If it gets very deep into FPV, he'll just go ahead and do the hour. But he's going to be doing a half hour. So get a hold of him if you got something you want him to look at or you want to come on and talk with him about. That'd be great. And
That
last
means
half
you too,
hour
Jeff Freestyle.
will be a free for all.
Yeah, because anybody that's FPV and wants to throw in, get on Zoom with me. We'll sit here and talk about FPV.
I can
'Cause
talk
I
about
don't know
FPV all
everything.
day long.
I'm learning.
Yeah, we have some people that are very skilled on here, and then we have beginners
Cuppi.
on here, which was me. You have some beginners, and all information's good information. And even if you already know the information, I might not know it. So
Or me.
right.
I saw someone said, John, you sell your drones, very cool, because I had put a link to Armatan custom builds. Just to be clear, no, I do not sell custom built drones, but that is a company that I recommend buying a bind and fly from if someone has the money for it, because you get the warranted frame and all that good stuff. I have no affiliation with Armatan at all. I'm not sponsored by them or nothing. It's just a personal recommendation.
But Armatan, if you'd like to sponsor John, you need to call him. Ooh,
Right now, I'm working on fixing their tadpole, which unfortunately failed on me after 7 flights. So there's that. Yeah, the motor seized and it death rolled twice in the air, and then the replacement motor, the brand new one that I had as a spare, that one, there's something wrong with it. The bearings on it or something screwed up, so they're sending me a new motor.
Oh wow, very good, very good. Look at this. I mean, Kim has a ton of yeah. You know who else does really good builds?
Great
Jeff
camera.
Freestyle. He's got a lot of stuff, huh?
That's a great
little
camera
camera mount.
for $12.
SQ12, right?
13, real
Oh,
full.
13,
The
yeah,
only
yeah.
drawback is a 2-minute recording loop.
Mm.
If they did 5 minutes, this would be the cheapest, best flipping camera. When it goes into the sun, there's no change in the light.
They're good little cams. I don't have one, but I know some people who do, and they're good little cameras.
Right. The right drone to do the right job. Yeah, I got to tell you, you know what drones that are just really interesting me right now is those Cenobees and those ones that do that really great video. Oh, see, he makes it so I don't think of it. I'm like squirrel. Ooh. I know. Does it have a rocket booster? Oh my God. Badges. Do not turn this boy into Rocket Man again. He loves talking about rockets. Look at that. Yeah, if there's a drone you're thinking about, because the things I would recommend are the things I've used that have been good for me. But if you want someone who can recommend a really decent drone for you, if you don't want to do DJI, get a hold of John. He won't steer you wrong. Look, yeah, see.
Yeah, Canadian Jump, I was saying, yeah, it's great to have honest, straight up advice. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. You know, I wouldn't say that necessarily buying Armatan is saving a ton of money. They're expensive. It's not cheap, but you know, I guess it's you get what you pay for, right? That's the thing. You get what you pay for.
And the other thing I'm going to tell you, people sell their drones all the time on these Facebook groups and on the different channels. They just decide they don't want it anymore. They're going to sell it. And if it's someone that you trust, like Tim, we trust Tim, and Tim has a lot of drones. So he just sold a drone to Destination. He sold a drone to Paul, I think Rob. nobody's, I mean, as far as I know, no one's been disappointed. And you can find people like that selling their drones. So
Of course, people get out of the hobby all the time. They get it, they fly for a while, it's not for them, and you can buy something secondhand, and
Or
it's a
or
win-win for them and you.
they start building and they upgrade their drones and they partake in giving some of their drones to somebody that's just starting,
Of course,
like upgrade.
like Jeff Freestyle, I got a lot of props. I love it. I just sit down and play with them sometimes.
And Jeff Freestyle, he's an awesome dude. He
He is
helped me and Bell out. He gave us cameras
Nice.
And
for our drones.
Centroid. As you meet a lot of people on here, and if they find they have something extra that they think you can use, and they just want you to have it, they will make sure you get it. So that's one of the things that I like about our channels.
Some wonderful
They do that on all of our channels. It's not just here. It's on all of our channels. They do that.
Oh, absolutely.
some great people, they just want everybody to enjoy the hobby because it is our hobby.
Drone.
Mhm.
Yeah. So feel free if you want to join the channel. I'm working on perks right now, but everything I wrote for a perk to join my channel, I already do. So you don't have to join it to get that. So I'm looking at other stuff. Oh my God. Oh my God. Speaking about Centroid, haven't seen him. Yeah, so he is actually still teaching. He's teaching remotely, and he has like, I think it was 50 kids that come to his class. So because this is all new, this teaching, because you've seen how much problems some other teachers have had. This has taken up a tremendous amount of his time. And now that it's online, the kids also realize they can get a hold of him 24/7. So he is really trying to get things in order. He's going to come back. It's just going to take him a little bit of time. He did get a hold of me and congratulated me. I love Centroid. I mean, I just love him.
He
When
teaches
he's-
the math, right? He's big on the math.
Yeah.
Yes, he teaches
Yeah,
math.
that's so important, and it is so important. You really can't go from one level of math to the next without mastering it. You just get all screwed up. So
Yeah, and he told me to make sure y'all know that he is coming back. He just has to take this stuff, handle this stuff, and a bunch of other things going on right now. And I said, don't you worry, I'll let everybody know. That's not a problem.
it's a lot of work.
A
So
lot of work.
much
He's
respect.
a lot of fun to fly with.
Oh my
yeah,
God.
for sure.
Big cigar hanging out of his mouth, quads and 4 quads in each hand, running towards his truck, going, oh, we need to get the batteries. I charged the batteries. Oh my God. He was fun. And he makes the bacon in the morning.
Yeah, he's the
Bacon
cook in the
Smith.
morning for breakfast.
That's
Everybody's
right.
around the table. They get their breakfast. They're charging batteries at the same time, and
Yep. It is so much fun. So guys, I'm going to get off for just a few minutes. I'm going to come back on so we can do game night if anyone's interested. And doing game night, I know Joe Mac's been patient with me because last week I was busy stressing about all this other stuff. So we are going to get back to that. But know that I'm probably going to be moving game night to Tuesday nights because Rojo and me are going to be doing tech night on Tuesdays. And I think we planned an hour. And so we can go right into game night at 8 on. So that's going to be a lot of fun too. And we have a lot of cool people join us. So if you guys want to join us, we are happy to have you. It'll be on this channel. And I just have to get my OBS and all that stuff up. So guys,
Are we gonna peace out now?
live long and prosper. Oh, I can do it with 2 hands. So
Yeah, I can do it with 2 hands too. I'm
Oh,
weird.
well then now
there we
you're
go.
special. Look at
I can move it with 2 hands too.
Oh, feel lucky
Yeah.
you're younger. My hands are like stiff.
It's okay, I'll back.
And this is the the Star Wars salute.
show off.
No, I'm just messing with
It's
you.
Star Trek. Everybody knows. Live long and prosper, Vulcans. Okay.
Okay, we're gonna go into game night.
If you just want to chat and come in and chat with us, you can, or you can get lots of them. Come on up.
And you can
And
watch
fly
us
with
because
us.
we'll be doing our flying.
Yeah. I'm so hoping my dad's charged. Okay, guys, I love you. You know it. See you back here in about 15 minutes when I get everything set up. Love
Take
you.
care,
Hey,
take
John.
Hi
care.
everybody.
Thank you. Thank
See you in
you.
a
Thank
few.
you.